Hello, my friends. This is Aliquity from Travel Gluten Free Podcast. I'm so excited to bring you another live broadcast. So, my live broadcast is going to be every Wednesday at 3 p.m. for What's New Wednesday, which I feature a gluten free cosmetic or product or another brand that is really great that I love and use. And then I just added what travel tips Thursday. So every Thursday at 3 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, you can tune into YouTube or you can tune into my Facebook group and find out a travel tip, a place you can travel safely. Now, this is with the disclaimer that obviously if your doctor tells you you cannot go out and travel, or if you're in a high risk group, definitely travel is not a good idea at all right now. But there are a few safe travel options that you can still do. So I want to tell you one I recently went on for my birthday, which was July 2nd, and that is Devil's Tower. So Devil's Tower is a really cool place. It is an geologic formation that had multiple things that it happened to it that it couldn't have been, it shouldn't really be there, but it's so cool. So Devil's Tower is in Wyoming. If you're familiar with the movie Close Encounters, this is the geologic formation that was featured in that movie when the aliens flew over and the main character was waving at them to communicate with them. And so this Devil's Tower information and guide, this is what you get when you get to Devil's Tower. It's a national monument. So it's part of the National Park Service. So I would highly recommend, because the national parks are now open. And if you are okay to travel and you don't have any reasons not to travel, then Devil's Tower is a great place, and the national parks are open. A lot of them are open, not all, but a lot of them are open. They're not open for camping, but you can go in and hike. So if you're outside, that is a relatively safe thing to do right now, even with COVID. So one of the awesome things about Devil's Tower is that at first it was a Native American. Native Americans would go here. It was a very, very spiritual and important place to Native Americans in the area. And then eventually it was featured in the movie Close Encounters, which brought it into popular era interest. And so the cool thing about Devil's Tower is there's only 2 trails to walk just around it. And so it's super easy to see everything in 2 days, which I did. The other way you can see Devil's Tower is by climbing. But right now you're not allowed to go rock climbing on the tower because there are birds of prey that are nesting on there. And climbers disturb the birds of prey when they're nesting in the little spaces on the rock. So you can climb Devil's Tower, which would be really cool and I would love to do. But right now it's unavailable. It's unavailable during nesting times. So a couple things you want to know when you're visiting Devil's Tower. The camping at Devil's Tower is not available because all the camps at the national parks are not available right now. The park is under construction. They're right now repaving. So since they're under construction, you normally are able to drive up to the visitor center and park there, and Devil's Tower is literally, you just walk out and see it. But the visitor centers, none of the visitor centers are open right now in any of the national parks because of COVID. But you can still walk up and see Devil's Tower. You just have to hike up to it. You can't drive. And it's not a bad hike. It is pretty steep. There's about an 800-foot elevation gain, which is about, I think it was 738 is what my Apple Watch said. So you definitely have to be in good shape. And always, always, always bring water, no matter how cool it is outside. Right now, it's very hot at Devil's Tower. It's in Wyoming. You think, oh, Wyoming's cold in the winter, but it's also really hot in the summer, kind of like Utah. So the speed limit is 25. Make sure you obey the speed limit because there's cops right at the entrance and they will pull you over. The tower is considered sacred by indigenous people. They do have prayer ribbons hanging from all the different trees. So you're not allowed to take those down. Those are put up there by indigenous people. Native Americans do still have ceremonies in that area and put prayer ribbons up. And so be respectful of those and don't take them down. They have a picnic area, which is really great. It's a picnic area with a bathroom and a water fountain. And the picnic campground is beyond the picnic area. Restrooms are behind the visitor center or in the picnic area campground. No food or drink is sold within the park. Water fountains are available in the summer. So water fountains are only available in the summertime. And the park rangers right now, since the visitor center is closed because of the COVID, what they've done is they've stationed park rangers at the different intersections of the trail. So the really cool thing is that you can go and still talk to a ranger, and they're actually handing out water too for people that forget to bring water. I always recommend bringing a camelback. A camelback is a backpack with a water bladder inside it that has a big straw that comes out, so you don't have to hold your water bottle. I like hands-free when I'm walking on the trail, so I can take pictures with my camera slash phone. And so yeah, so definitely, I would definitely recommend getting a camelback with a bladder. I like the camelback brand because I find it's very sturdy and very, very, you can really uh, just kill it and it still keeps ticking. So I love my camelback. I will never buy anything else except camelback brand. But you can get less expensive hydro packs. They're called HYDRA packs on Amazon to bring with you when you're hiking. So I would definitely recommend Devil's Tower. Devil's Tower is such a fun place to visit. We did both hikes circling in. You can see pictures of Devil's Tower on my Instagram. From Salt Lake, it's about an 8-hour drive north. Some other places that you can see besides Devil Tower, which is really fun, is the Crazy Horse Memorial. This is ginormous. Like if you think that you like the oh my gosh, the original one that was built with the presidents, the Crazy Horse Memorial is even bigger. And they've been building it for 3 generations. So that's a lot of fun. Also, this is a little bit farther away. It's a 2-hour ride, but you can do a big loop. We did a big loop when we saw Devil's Tower. We did Devil's Tower, Rapid City. We came back to Cheyenne and came back down. This 1880 train is really cool. And this is actually in that loop. There is a Prairie Berry Winery that is it's amazing how much wineries are in South Dakota and Wyoming. I had no idea until I started driving through. There is hot air balloon rides, one of my favorite things to do. And there is this Tatanka story of the bison. This one I did not see. There are reptile gardens, which looks like a large indoor plant area, but it's actually a bunch of reptiles. And although I did not go in to see the reptile gardens because my daughter was not with us, if she was, we would have definitely stopped because she loves reptiles. This is a really big place. And apparently it's been there since 1938. It says it's quoted as the top 10 places in the US to stop and take a look from USA Today. And these are all the different things that it features. So if your child loves reptiles, I would definitely recommend stopping there. Also, if you have a child, I don't have a brochure, but there's a place called Candyland, and it is literally like Walmart sized and rows and rows and rows of candy. They do have some candy that's gluten free. Their ice cream is gluten free. I did eat that and it was delicious. But definitely check and be careful when if you go to Candyland, none of their licorice is gluten-free. So wheat is used as a filler in licorice, unfortunately. And so that's black licorice is one of my favorites, but there weren't any brands that Candyland sold, but there is a place called Candyland where they just literally have aisles and aisles of candy. And I was like a little kid in a candy store, but it was really great. This is called the Mammoth Site, Travel Back in Time. I did not do this one just because we have lots of dinosaur things in Utah. We did do this one, which was super fun. I would highly recommend Badlands helicopter tours. It was really fun. They started at $49 for just a jump around. I think we did like the 20-minute one, which was, I can't remember how much it was a person. It was definitely over $100, but they have aerial adventures. And it was super fun. We actually flew around Mount Rushmore. That's how we saw it. And I'm really glad that we did fly around Mount Rushmore because we went during my birthday is during the July 4th holiday weekend. And it was like a 4-mile line of cars just to get in there. So I'm really glad we did the helicopter ride. We saved a ton of time. We got to see Mount Rushmore and flew by it. And just the scenery is beautiful in Wyoming. It is gorgeous. It's definitely comparable to Utah for sure. So if you are looking for a great place to go, I would definitely recommend Devil's Tower. If you want to camp, there is an awesome campground that is so the state's campgrounds in Wyoming are open. Always call to double check because things are changing very rapidly with COVID. But we stayed at a campground at Keyhole State Park in Wyoming. And it's a state park and it has tons and tons of camping space available. They just opened up camping 6 weeks ago. And we were the only person in the loop. We camped, it's right on a reservoir, so you can camp right on the water, which is what we did. And so we saw beautiful, spectacular sunset pictures every night we were camping. I will post those on Instagram. They're absolutely gorgeous. So we would definitely recommend camping. If you just want to get it for a camping getaway, that one's actually really good if you just want to do a getaway and sit in your campsite and read a book. It's really beautiful and amazing. So my friends, that is my travel tip for Thursday is if you are allowed to go camping, definitely get out there, go camping. Check the state parks because the national parks are not open, and I would definitely recommend checking out Devil's Tower. All right, my friends, I hope you're having a great gluten-free week. And remember, enjoy food, enjoy travel, and enjoy life. This is Aliquity signing off, and I'll see you at the next live broadcast.